Hello YouTube, this is Morgan Bannon or Airspeed Prime here. I'm the site super moderator for Avatar The Last Airbender Online, the Avatar fan site where you can find all the latest Avatar news and discussion. Now I'm recording this Airspeed Discusses, this is the actual 10th Airspeed Discusses, as I made the mistake in the last one of thinking it was the 10th one. And I'm recording this one on January the 18th, which is my birthday, so I'm 20 today, and I guess in some way the topic is sort of related to kind of birthdays and stuff like that. It is going to be like how you got into Avatar, specifically for me it's going to be how I got into Avatar and my kind of how I got into the fandom and stuff like that. But as usual, I'm going to start off with the Avatar news roundup, and I might as well start off with core information. Again, I mentioned in the last video, more leaks came out, and I talked about them in the kind of additional part. But now we've been hearing news that the whole episode is going to be leaked, like pretty much at the weekend, and so everyone's going to have to make a big choice of whether or not they're going to watch it or not. Now, I think Nick partly is somewhat to blame for this. We wouldn't need the episode to be leaked if they had kind of kept us up to date with any information, because all they have to do to make the fans like not go looking for leaks is put out anything, like any behind the scenes stuff, a little look into the animation, interview with voice actors, anything about the show. Give us out some kind of promo art for the characters, because we really don't have super high quality images of many of the characters, and something like that, just to get the fandom kind of off looking for leaks. But the fact is, it is probably going to come out, and people are going to have to make a big choice on whether they want to see it or not. Now, I think a lot of people were feeling quite guilty and whatever about looking at the clips that have come out already, and I really don't think there's any need to feel guilty. Again, once you don't like go spreading them around like crazy, so like the reason the site's not doing it is because basically we don't want to kind of spread around this kind of supposed like illegal information, and we're definitely not going to allow links and downloads or post about it. The whole episode, if it comes out, we'll allow discussion, very spoiler discussions in on the forum, but no news about it. Personally, if it does get leaked, I'm definitely going to watch it, simply because, you know, as the super moderator on the site, I have to know like what happens in the episode to know what spoilers or not if when people are talking about it. I was going to watch it anyway, but I guess I have an excuse to watch it. You know, I have to watch the episode so I can moderate properly. Yes. Anyway, yes, that. Nothing more about the release dates, no more information really. The Promise, again, I'm going to say it, it is now 1 week from the comic book release date of The Promise. It's January 18th today, it's out on January 25th in comic book stores, February 7th from Amazon and bookstores. So, as I said, I'm going to put up a written review on Avatar The Last Airbender Online, because I am like the site comic book reviewer. So I'll put that up as kind of early as I can on the 25th. I'm from Ireland, so if you're from America, you should see that as soon as you kind of wake up in the morning, and should get you more excited for the book, hopefully. Then later on, I'll update that post with my video review that I'm going to do on this channel. And yeah, and if you want, I'll even do an episode commentary, comic commentary, where I talk through the book, like my episode commentaries that I do book for a comic, and it should be really good because there's a lot to talk about, even just from the leaks. I could talk on for ages about that. Again, my Twitter, twitter.com/airspeedprime, capital A, capital P. I post stuff there, and yeah, so that's pretty much all the news there is. There hasn't been much, but I guess it's time for the topic, and that's just going to be kind of how you got into Avatar / your history with the fandom. and obviously this topic is very kind of specific to like the person, so it's going to be pretty much me talking about how I got into Avatar and everything about me with relation to Avatar. So it might be a bit long, maybe a bit boring, but whatever. So how did I get into Avatar? That's actually like the light kind of boring part of my kind of story. I being from like Ireland, Europe, that means that we got the show later than America. I'm not sure how much later, because I have a terrible memory of kind of stuff that happened years ago. And but I definitely know that I watched the episode when it premiered here in Ireland, and I watched all of season 1, all of season 2 as it premiered. Now, how I got into it was, I came home from school one day, watched Nick after doing my homework, and saw the like advertisement like for the show for the first 2 episodes, kind of like premiere at the weekend, and like instantly I was drawn in by the animation, the kind of premise of bending, and the whole kind of fantasy world got me interested. And I watched it at the weekend, and instantly was kind of in love with the show. It was like the kind of perfect show for me at that time, and it just went on from there. I became a huge fan. Now, I should probably say right now that I didn't actually have the internet. My family didn't have the internet at that stage when Avatar came out. So, I was part of the fandom, but not the online fandom, I guess. And I didn't get the internet until the end of season 2. I think there was like 2 episodes left to air when I got the internet. So pretty much it was just watching the episodes up until the end of season 2. Got a computer, and when I got a computer, it was that was pretty much our first time here having a computer, and like except for like the 10 times maybe we used a computer in primary school, and a few times we used it in the first year of secondary school. I'd never really used a computer before that much, so I quickly learned how to use a computer, and then like obviously internet fandoms, so that's one of the things I got into straight away. And obviously I looked for an Avatar fan site straight off, and not really knowing much about forums. The first one I kind of came across was a kind of website online that was that had the episodes kind of online to watch, and it wasn't such a forum, but what they did have was where each of the episodes was available to watch. There was like a comment section, and you didn't even have to sign up. You just had to say your username, like put an email address, and comment, and you could just keep commenting. It wasn't like a sign up thing. And that was something like Watch Avatar The Last Airbender episodes online.com or something like that. I really do not remember. And so yeah, I've kind of rewatched the first 2 seasons again. I really didn't know where season 3 was, because this was when the big gap came out. So yeah, I watched all the episodes there, and then they started putting up kind of these things like, we'll post the episodes here when it comes out for 301, 302, whatever, and they had the like names of the episodes. So obviously all the comments were about speculation about when the episodes would air or whatever, and I suppose this is where I kind of fully got into the fandom, where like I just found out like how to fully find like how to find information about the show when it was airing, and so I started to do that, and it was just randomly became like the kind of go-to guy to find out when episodes were airing, because for some reason I got like a few of the dates reasonably correct, and people were like asking me for when the episodes would air, and like I really didn't know for the most part. It wasn't really much discussion about the episodes, just when would they air, because that's what it was like for the fandom back then. And so yeah, the episodes start to air, obviously took a while, like 9-10 months, and again there was no real discussion there, it was just waiting for all the episodes to air. It was around kind of mid book 3 where I kind of found like forums, Avatar forums. Obviously the first one I found was Avatar Spirit, and I signed up for that, but I just didn't really find it much of a community there. as opposed to just a kind of straight up message board. You post what you want, and not really people really kind of know each other or stuff like that. Um, it was just my opinion on the side, and I didn't really stay that long. So yeah, I never really found a forum that I liked straight off. So yeah, obviously went back to the kind of Watch Avatar Online website and pretty much finished off the series kind of just, and the finale obviously was the big thing, like the 4 episodes airing in one night, and that was kind of one of my only ever kind of all-nighters I've ever kind of pulled, stayed up all night. That was the first one, and then the second one was for the Lost finale. Now, obviously I was just like refreshing YouTube like mad, waiting for just a really bad kind of stream to go up. Then I watch Avatar Online for a better stream, and that was great, but it was also kind of sad at the same time. The show had ended. And obviously, kind of after the show, I still was interested in it, and kind of wanted to talk about it. So I went back to Avatar Spirit, but again, didn't really stay that long because I didn't find it the most kind of welcoming place, because it was almost kind of too big for some to join up to and kind of get involved. That's just how I felt. Then, you know, I started watching the episode, like rerunning the whole series again over and over. And then it was kind of like I kind of forgot about the show for a while, until I saw like the book 1 and book 2 DVD box set in a like DVD store, and I bought them straight away. And I was really lucky in that I looked up immediately after getting them when book 3 was coming out, and it was only like a week or 2 away, so I knew the date. So I went up to the store like early on that date, and that was probably the fastest thing I've ever bought ever in my life. Literally, I knew exactly where I was going in the store, exactly where I would find it. Saw it just like from across the store, just made a beeline straight for it, picked it up, walking over to pay for it, taking the money out of my hand. It's just like no queue, straight off home, watching it. It was just that quick, and what a purchase. I was able to watch the whole series whenever I wanted, and I can still do it now, which is great. So yeah, I watched those like multiple times, just like going crazy with the DVDs. And then that's when we started hearing news about the Last Airbender movie. Now, obviously, I was really interested in this, so where better to go for information than an Avatar fan site? So back to Avatar Spirit I went, and I probably only like stayed there for about a month discussing it, because there was just a lack of information about it really. But the thing is, everyone was really excited for the movie, and we knew actually quite a bit about it at this time, and everyone was super excited for it. Very little kind of like bad directed towards it, and so yeah, I had no idea like what I was meant to expect. So I pretty much then kind of came out of the fandom for a while, pretty much until the movie came out, pretty much, and that was July 2010, and so that's when I kind of got back into the fandom, and I saw straight away that people on Avatar Spirit were not liking it, and all across like other fan sites, people were not liking it. My main kind of forum at that time, and I don't go on it as much as I used to, is a Transformers forum, WTF. No, not, that's the podcast that they do. TFW2005.com. The WTF in that podcast is like wacky toy fans, actually. Just random thing. So yeah, they had a thread obviously in their forum for The Last Airbender, and I was there, you know, excited for the movie. And someone there who was also a huge Avatar fan actually PM'd me about this news site that had just opened the forum, and it was Avatar: The Last Airbender Online. I think you've heard that name before. how many videos have I put on? Oh wait, all of them, yeah. So that's actually how I found out about the site. PM from a Transformers fan, and at first, I kind of PM'd back like, I'm not really interested. I haven't had a great experience so far with Avatar forums. But immediately after sending that, I checked out the site, and I liked what I saw. It was small. I'd been used to forums, so I knew. I know that I wasn't kind of a idiotic kind of poster like some people on forums are, and that I can add to the discussion there. What is a kind of was at that time only had a few members, mainly just the mods, and they were applying. There was applications for mods, and I knew that I knew a lot about Avatar. I'm not kind of being cocky when I say that. I kind of knew my stuff, and so I immediately applied to be a moderator. And pretty much the admin Jordan, you probably, if you're on the site, you probably know him. Said, like, I'll add you as a mod in like a few weeks whenever I go to check the when I ever go to update the kind of moderator section a bit. So I just started posting around. What really made me like that place a lot was that the movie could be discussed there without people getting just over the top negative about it, just ranting on about how much they hate the movie. They could say that they disliked it for these reasons and would listen to people saying why they liked it for whatever reasons. And that's instantly what drew me into the place. Like, a lot of forums kind of are stuck in a kind of more established ones are stuck in a kind of path of this is the way that the posts are done. It gets quite negative with some things and whatever. So I just felt like this place could be kept as it is, very open to loads of discussion, loads of differing opinions and stuff like that. So I felt like I could, as a moderator, I could like keep it like that. Great form, and it is pretty much still like that today. So how I became, you probably know now, as I've said, like I'm the super moderator on the site, and I do news posts and Facebook admin and whatever. But like, how did I go from being just a regular member to being that? And it's a kind of funny story about how it like all started. Jordan was planning to do this thing on the site where, obviously, one of the kind of big resources that an Avatar fan site should have is episode synopses, just like descriptions of all the episodes, what happens in them. So he contacted every mod on the site, and at that stage there was about 10 or 11, and asked them, including me because I was going to become a mod, asked them to kind of each do about 3 or 4, write the synopses for about 3 or 4 episodes. So I instantly did mine, wanting to do whatever I could to help out the site, and after like I left it like a day or so after that, he said that was exactly the sort of thing he was looking for. Do as many as you want. So I left it a day just to see did anyone else do the episode after that, because I did the first 3 episodes, and no one did. So I just did the next 3, waited another few days, did the next 3, waited another few days, and then just went ahead and did all of season 1. I then kind of emailed Jordan saying like, hey, has anyone contacted you back about doing any of these? And he said no. So I just went ahead and said, I'll do them all if you want. And he just said, if you're willing. And I just went ahead and did all of them, including the unaired pilot. So you can, I'll actually link that post down below just to see the kind of amount of writing, typing that goes into that. It's a pretty huge post. It was my first post on the site. So yeah, immediately after that was kind of made a mod in Introduce Yourself and Avatar World sections, and they were probably the 2 most active because the site was getting not a lot of members, but a good few members, as it was a new site, very small kind of at the time. And Avatar World, because I'd started loads of stuff like Avatar Trivia, Avatar Hangman and whatever. So they were kind of the 2 of the most active sections, and it went on like that. I became the mod, we got more members. But then after kind of a few months we got to the stage where a lot of the kind of mods that were there before I joined up the site decided I'd only been up 2 weeks the forum had only been up 2 weeks when I joined. A lot of them were not active. There was only like 2 or 3 of them who were still posting on the site along with me, so there was only 2 active mods covering about 4 of the sections, with Jordan of course being the only one who could moderate all sections. And so I just, as probably the most active kind of member on the site at that time, I kind of contacted Jordan and mentioned like, hey, just wondering, have you noticed like not a lot of the moderators are very active. Some of the forums have no moderators in them. I think I know some like good members who would make good mods, and he just kind of let me go ahead with it. He made me kind of super moderator then, and I just kind of contacted people about wanting to become a mod, and that's pretty much how it is now. I've only made a few changes kind of since that original one. You know, adding Tracy as a mod, Donna, Coyote01 and stuff like that, members like that. So that's pretty much how the mods are as they are now. That's how I'm a super moderator, and between all this time I became like a regular news kind of post writer, mainly doing kind of other posts on the site like community opinion rather than news, simply because I couldn't publish stuff. I wrote the posts and then Jordan would like approve them and publish them. Right now I sort of got an extra kind of upgrade as site supermod with the site update. I can publish posts myself, I can moderate all comments on news posts, and do some other stuff on the site. So yeah, the site as it is now is great, and you know, it's getting a lot bigger. We get like new members every day now, as opposed to getting new members kind of every like week or month before. And I'm actually quite shocked at how big an impact the site update has had on all this. I expected there to be like an influx of new members at the start, but there's still loads of new members coming in, loads of them staying active, and with kind of stuff coming out right now, like The Promise out in a week, Cora kind of getting ever closer now that we have a commercial, and the episode 1 being close to leaked. Yeah, stuff's just gonna get better and better, and you know, it's such a nice community there, and we've got loads of members got great ideas. The mods have great ideas, and so on like that. We have some events planned for the future. I will talk more about this kind of big one coming up that we have planned in future videos. And that's pretty much it. That's my story with Avatar, how I discovered it, my thing with Fandom, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you, bye. Video responses would be great, because this is the kind of topic where they would kind of matter the most, like you talking about your experience with Avatar and how you got into Fandom and so on. So thank you, bye.